Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Namaskrityam Naron Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayat Mudirahe Nashta Prayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 8, text number 20. Since 20 does not have a purport, we will also take 21 today, 20 and 21. Tamasi apare viduratma sargam vichin vato abhut sumaham tunemi yudeha bhajam vayam trayana Parikshnoti ayu ajasya heti. Tamasi apare viduratma sargam vichin vato abhut samaham trinemi yudeha bhajam vayam trayana parikshi noti ayu ajasya heti. Tamasi apare, because of an ignorant way of searching, vidura or vidura, atma sargam, the cause of his creation, vichinvata, while contemplating, abhu, it so became, sumahan, very great, trinemi, time of three dimensions, yaha, which, dehabhajam, of the embodied, bhayam, fearfulness, trayanaha, generating, parikshinoti, diminishing the 100 years, ayu, duration of life, ajasya, of the self-born, heti, the wheel of eternal time. O Vishnu, while searching for the cause of his existence in that way, Brahma reached his ultimate time. Time is the eternal will in the land of Vishnu and generates the fear of death in the mind of the living entity. Text number 21. Tato nivritta apratilabdha kamaha swadhishranyam asadya punan sadevaha sanayijita swasa nivritta chitta anyasidat aruda samadhi yogaha. Tato nivritta apratilabha kama swadhishanyam asadya punah sadeva sanayijita swasa nivritta chitta nyasidat aruda samadhi yoga. Tato nivritta apratilabdha kama swadhishyanyamasadya punah sadeva sanayijita swasa nivritta chitta nyasidat Aruda Samadhi Yoga. Tataha, thereafter. Nivritta, retired from that endeavor. Apratilabdha kama, without achievement of the desired destination. Swadhisanyam, own seat. Ashadya, reaching. Punaha, again. Saha, he. Devaha, the demigod. Sanai, without delay. Jita swasa, controlling the breathing. Nivritta, retired. Chittaha, intelligence. Nyasidat, sat down. Arudha, in confidence. Samadhi Yoga in Meditation on the Lord. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, being unable to achieve the desired destination, he retired from such searching and came back again to the top of the lotus. Thus, controlling his breathing, he concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord. Purport. Samadhi involves concentrating the mind upon the supreme cause of all. Even if one is amenable, even if one is unaware of whether his eternal nature is personal, impersonal, or localized, concentration of the mind on the Supreme is certainly a form of devotional service. To cease from personal endeavor, to cease from personal sense endeavors, and to concentrate on the supreme cause is a sign of self-surrender. And when self-surrender is present, that is a sure sign of devotional service. Each and every living entity needs to engage in devotional service to the Lord if he wishes to understand the ultimate cause of his existence. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurmitan Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manabhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Thereafter, being unable, we'll read both the purports. Of Vidura, while searching for the cause of his existence in that way, Brahma reached this ultimate time. Time is the eternal will in the hand of Vishnu and generates the fear of death in the mind of the living entity. Thereafter, being unable to achieve the desired destination, he retired from such searching and came back again to the top of the lotus. Thus, controlling his breathing, he concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord. Yeah. So, in this series of verses, we see that after the stem of the lotus flower sprouts from Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who is lying within the Garbhodaka ocean, and this stem passes through this 14 planetary systems. And on the top of it is the lotus flower, which is the abode of the Brahma Loka, which is the topmost material planet in this 14 planetary system. So Lord Brahma, sitting there, is pondering, how did I come here? What is my origin? What is my origin? And then he comes down on the stem from the lotus flower and almost reaches to the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, but is still not finding the source. And Then he gives up his efforts and he returns back to the his abode, Brahmaloka. Um, and then he starts meditating within, right? He starts performing tapaha, right? Romans, there's some verdict. Romans says the Lord within his heart is guiding. Now we perform meditation. And we see in the ninth chapter of uh, the same 10th or third chapter, an indication is given by the Lord. I manifested within you while you entered the stem of the lotus searching for me. I manifested my form from within you to make you successful. Right. Your prayers, penances, and firm faith in me are by my causeless mercy alone. So a person might do a lot of endeavor to achieve something, but if the mercy of the Lord is not there, then he cannot reach his goal, his destination. Right. And we see practically exemplified by this example of Lord Brahma, who on his own is trying to search for his existence, for his origin, and he cannot find. And when the Lord's mercy is there, um, and his prayers are there to the Lord in form of devotional service, then Lord can manifest himself. Right. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahya mindre. By our blunt material senses, we cannot understand the Supreme Lord. Right. Sevo mukhe jivadao swam eva spuradhyada. Only by devotional service we can understand. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavanasasmi tatvataha. Right. Again, in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, this point is exemplified only by devotional service. Bhaktyamam abhijanati, my devotee would know me. Right. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. One who performs a devotional service with bhajatam pritipurvakam, with love, with full faith. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I will impart intelligence. Right here we see that the Lord manifested when he is doing all the endeavors. Right. To help Lord Brahma, the Lord manifested within his heart to guide him. Right. And the process which he followed here is Vishnu Smaranam. Samadhi involves concentrating his mind upon the supreme cause of all. Even if one is unaware of whether his actual nature is personal, impersonal, localized. Right. He focused his mind on the Supreme. Right. He focused his mind on the Supreme. Ultimately focused on uh, the Paramatma feature of the Lord within him. Right. And invoke the mercy of the Lord by fully performing devotional service. Right. Giving up all forms of personal sense endeavor. Right? His personal sense endeavor did not guide him, did not, no, he was unsuccessful from, just by his personal sense endeavor. And we see in other instances also, we see in Damodar Lila, personal sense endeavor. Mother Jasoda was trying to tie the Lord, and she failed to tie the Lord. She failed to tie the Lord. It was possible only when she gave up and took shelter of the Supreme Lord. Like in this case, also it was possible when Lord Brahma gave up his personal sense endeavor. Oh, let me find, let me go this way, let me go that way. No. When he gave up his personal sense endeavor and started performing devotional service, which is also an endeavor. Performing devotional service is also an endeavor. But taking shelter of the Supreme, right? While performing devotional service, the endeavor which we put Krishna in the center. And then the Lord manifests. Dhruva Maharaj, uh, guided by Narad Muni, right? His personal sense, sense endeavor, no. But when Narad Muni guided him, that only way you chant this holy name, and he chanted the holy name and he performed tapasya. And though he wanted a material desire, right? That I want a kingdom greater than my great grandfather. And his great grandfather was the Brahma. And to him, the Lord personally gave darshan. And by getting that darshan, he found that, oh, whatever I was desiring within was just broken piece of glass. Mhm. So various examples are there in our Shastra where this point is again and again uh, focused on performance of devotional service, right? Giving up all forms of pride that are just by my personal sense and never things will be possible, right? Lord Krishna, while guiding Arjuna to fight the war, right? He said, oh, he's showing that, oh, uh, you are feeling reluctant to fight against Bhishma Pitamaha, against your your grandfather, your Dronacharya, spiritual master, and others. You're feeling reluctant to fight because you think that you are the doer. By your endeavor, things will become possible. And that's our material conditioning, where we think that, oh, I became this, I became that, I became that by my own personal endeavor. Right. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतु माते संगोस्त्व कर्माणि. Right. Karmanyevadhikarasте. We can just perform activities. Results are not in our hand. Right. Like Lord Brahma is performing activity here. Endeavor he is putting. Okay, let me go, let me search by my own endeavor. And results were not in his hand. He was unsuccessful. Till he really focused He gave up his personal sense endeavor, right, and focused on the Supreme within. Then the Lord bestowed his mercy and revealed himself, right. So the process is mentioned here. Kind of resembles more to the Ashtanga yoga process, controlling his breathing. He concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord, right? To some extent, resembles that process of Ashtanga yoga, which is also, you know, a part. But then fully focusing on the Supreme Lord. He had not seen the Supreme Lord, but with that faith that there is Supreme Lord, fully focusing on the Supreme Lord. And then the Lord means manifested. In uh, consequent verses, we'll find the Lord manifesting. That's the potency of performance of devotional service versus just our personal material endeavors to achieve something. To achieve even the Supreme, to achieve especially Supreme Lord, it's not possible. It's inconceivable. The Lord is inconceivable. By our blunt material senses, we are not going to know the Supreme Lord. Premanjana Shrita Bhakti Vilochanena. Unless our senses are anointed by the salve of the law of Godhead, we won't be able to understand the Supreme Lord. Okay. We won't be able to understand. Okay. Are there any questions, discussions, reflections on this point?
Hare Krishna, Madhupati
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
The time chakra that we mentioning in this shloka translation.
Kala Chakra, yes.
Yeah. Does that same as a Sudarshan chakra or it's
No,
different?
that's different. There's a Kala Chakra. Kala Chakra means eternal time. Ultimately, means at each and every moment, ansha, time is going on, and then 100 years pass by. 100 years of, uh, not Lord Brahma, 100 years of on earth pass by, where he was meditating. But that's not same as Sudarshan Chakra. That's your question. That's Kala Chakra. Just like if you go to Konark, there are different chakras, and we can, based on each and every moment, this like a clock, it goes different numbers. At each and every moment, the second needle goes on passing by and finishes one round, and then it becomes a minute. 1 minute passes by, and similarly 1 hour. And there's an entire calculation of that, where we say laya matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoya. What is that laya? So fraction of a second, not even a second, fraction of a second. And that all these different terms are mentioned, how they relate in different times. Laya, ansha, and all the times. Yuga. Is it all right, Jayaprakash?
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madhupati Prabhu.
Yes, Amritan Babu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, my question is related, Hari Bol. My question is related to mercy and endeavor for something to be successful.
Yes.
So is this only related to devotional service, or is it also for, say, karmic or vikarmic activities also?
Yeah. Good question. Well, one is man proposes, God disposes, and means if we really become Shastra Chakshu, we'll know that even to perform, even to move a blade of grass by our own endeavor, it won't be possible. We can just desire. So we karmic, as you mentioned, we karmic, even if you want to perform a sinful activity, by our own endeavor, you won't be able to perform. Right. You will want to perform something against um, basically activity which is sinful, and the Lord, uh, before sanctioning, sometimes he says, "Oh, why do you want to perform in form of guilty consciousness? You know, you want to perform
Mhm.
something. I want to steal something." And says, "Oh, why do you want to do this?" There's an inner something which tells you. That's where the Paramatma is telling, "Okay, don't do this." But instead, no, we still, and then the Lord says, "Okay, do it, bear the consequences." So in the three doer, which is explained in Bhagavad Gita, one is us, who, the a person who desires, then the Lord who sanctions that desire, and then the senses through which these desires are carried out. Does that answer, Amitabh?
Yeah, I was just trying to understand the mercy aspect, Prabhu. So, like, yes, Krishna, if you look at him as the king who
Yeah,
sanctions, so
yes.
it is understandable. But mercy is where he takes pity on you. And so someone is doing a vikarmic activity like, say, a terrorism bombing.
Yeah.
So how would Krishna be merciful to a person who's being
Well, he's
cruel?
not. So in that case, means he's telling him in form of guilty conscience, don't do it. But still, he wants to do it. He says, okay, continue on. You bear the consequences. Right.
Okay.
Uh, we are told, okay, we should not do this, we should not do that, don't watch TV, don't do it. No man says, devotees especially will know that there are times we want to eat, which is not something which is not offered to the Lord. In form of guilty consciousness, something comes up, oh, no, this is not offered, I don't want to eat. Oh, I'm very hungry. Okay, so the tussle within us to do or not to do, right? That's the
Mhm.
tussle where the Atma is desiring and Lord, in form of guilty consciousness, is saying, oh, don't do that.
Okay.
But the mercy, especially in devotee's case, where he shows his full mercy, right? Ye tamam prapandatam tathaiva bhajamiham, right? Means depending upon person's performing devotional service, depending upon his level, he reciprocates accordingly. When he takes full shelter of the Supreme Lord, the Lord carries him. Right? Why we don't get darshan of the Supreme Lord? When Dhruva Maharaj took full shelter of him, performing devotional service. Even at our neophyte stage, means in our preliminary stage of sadhana bhakti, at times we see Lord inspiring us from within. Things manifest where means we would not have realized, oh, okay, we would just have desired to serve Him, and in some form we would see His mercy manifest. So, what to speak of someone who fully takes shelter of Him, right?
Okay.
Arjuna. Karpanya dosha prahata sabha prichami tvam dharma samudha cheta. Completely confused of his duty. I don't know what to do, what not to do. I'm amidst this army, right? You see, uh, when you go on a war and you are right in between the two armies and you're completely perplexed, not you don't know what to do. You know, you give up your weapon. But what does he do? Ichwamitam dharma samudacharya. Yatshreshan, shishyateham, yeah. Karpanya dosha, prata sabha, prichami tam dharma samudacharya. Yatshreshan, nishitan bhuitan mein, shishyateham, sadhimam tam brahma. My soul surrendered unto you. Please guide me. Take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So here also the word Atma Sargam is mentioned. So take self-surrender. When he surrenders unto the Lord, giving up his endeavor. Oh, I tried with my material endeavor to do whatever to achieve something or to even get you. I have failed. Lord, you guide me. Right. And then the Lord guides him. Where it's just like a father, loving father, the child wants to do something on his own, and he gives okay, and then he takes shelter of his father, and the father likes his so he feels so his heart suddenly starts becoming so gladdened that now he's asking for guidance. Before he just wanted to do on his own, independent. So the entire thing is based on that. We don't use too much of our independence. In material world, material conditioning, people want to become independent. But in our entire source, mercy is based on only taking dependent on the Guru Parampara, on the Supreme Lord, dependent on them. Is that all right, Amrita?
Yes, Prabhu. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we can take further questions on Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. It's 7:02. Thank you very much for everyone joining on this wonderful Friday, beginning of a weekend ahead. Just a week before Lord Balaram's appearance day and 2 weeks also before Janmashtami. So wonderful, auspicious days are coming and filled with lots opportunity of performing lots of devotional service so that we can manifest the mercy of the Lord within us to serve Him nicely. So we'd like to offer our prayers by chanting 3 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Jai Nrsimha,
Jai
Jai
Narsinga, Shri
Jai
Narsingham,
Nrsimha,
Jai Jai
Prahlad
Narsingadeva,
Deva, Jai Padma,
Praladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Bringa,
Ugravidam Mahavishnu,
Ugram Veeram
Ugram Veeram
Mahavishnu
Mahavishnu,
Jalatam
Jalatam
Sarvatam
Sarvotammakam,
Darshanamam
Narsingham
Bhishtam
Bhishanam Bhadram,
Mrityum Namami.
Mrityam Namamiham.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai, Prahlad
Ki
Maharaj.
Jai,
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 Let's
Jai.
offer
Jai.
our Oh, there's one more announcement. No, yes, we have special Govindas this weekend as usual, and especially tomorrow there's a special pizza being almost four forms of different kinds of pizza being cooked by our ICNJ youth. So please avail that opportunity by Govindas. Okay, we'll offer our humble obeisances, lotus feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha
Kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu eva cha
Ketanam pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Namo Namaha.
Vaishnavinda ki jai.
Jai.
Sundays, there's also a class by Deen Bandhu Prabhu on the Lord Balram's pastimes on our channel, Sunday Japathon channel. So, please join timely for this wonderful class. Hari Hari.
Thank you, Madhupati Prabhu.
Thank you, Madhupati Prabhu.
Thank you, Madhupati
Thank
Prabhu.
you, Hari.
Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna. All to Vishnu Prabhupada. Hari Bol.
Hari
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Hare